Hi, I hope I've disturbed a really busy day, because in this moment of disturbance, you're probably feeling that there's a tremendous amount of noise going on in your being, particularly in your head. The frenzy of doing. And here we're going to take a moment just to be. And as soon as we go into this moment of being, we realize that deep within our physical presence is one amazing note. Isn't it interesting that when we are born, we take this great gulp of air? In other words, we breathe in pranayama. We breathe in the source. But then we need to do something with that breath, so the great roar of life tumbles out of us. And then something happens to us. As we grow, as we are educated, as we are socialized, in short, as we experience life, it seems that we stop feeling the organic, instinctual naturalness of what it is to be within the celebration of the joy of that note, of that power, of that pure celebration of life. The alchemy of voice has two pillars. The first pillar is the notion of the fact that we each have a note, that deep within us, within our physical, within our geometric form, is a sound that is the sum total, the iridescence of what that being is, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This is the first pillar. The second pillar is the notion that often we do not live that note, and so we can bring in the alchemy of healing to transform the possibility of not living that note into the probability of truly living it. So that actually what happens is that we move from the dis-ease or disenchantment or disillusionment or indeed the disharmony, and we move into enchantment, we move into harmony, we move into orientation, we move into an expression of our personal power that is unique because we're dealing with a building block of creation. We're dealing with a sound that sits deep within our own beings. As we look into the beauty of nature, here we sit in this exquisite orchard. It is the beginning of May, and we see the blessed vernal season is in a blessed state of harmony. It makes us feel good. Now, all we're doing in finding our note is actually reflecting the harmony of this exquisite natural state within our central being. And therefore, we become healthy. Therefore, we become vital. And therefore, we find our personal power, our sovereignty, the great I am presence. And the life is never the same again. Here I was sitting meditating during this very unique astrological configuration which we know as the harmonic convergence, where most of the world seemed to have converged on Glastonbury because of the nature of it being a very powerful Earth energy vortex. And as I was meditating here, I heard this extraordinary sound, and it wasn't the sound of nature that I hear now. I heard this very high-pitched harmonic overtone, and a light seared through my body, right through my heart chakra. And smarting, I opened my eyes, and in front of me I saw here 12 orbs that were ringing with their own harmonic. Extraordinary orbs of light in the air who revealed to me that they were to be called the angels of Atlantis. The interesting thing in our history, of course, is that when we look into the embodiment of angel energy, we always see these beautiful human beings with wings. And yet, when we dive into, as I've done, diving into the Christian mystics and the Sufi mystics, that so many of these people, these illustrious people who lived hundreds of years ago, taught that angels were orbs of light. And isn't it fascinating that today we're seeing more and more photographs of elemental energies or angelic possibilities as orbs of light through the insurgence of digital photography? The angels of Atlantis, for me, appear more and more over these last 24 years as though they are a bridge between heaven and earth, as though they are the very arch that is the transept holding the roof of this temple of sound healing known as the Alchemy of Voice. What's also interesting for me within this, as I saw these 12 orbs, is that they asked if I would bring to the fore, through publishing, an oracle, a very, very ancient oracle of 44 cards. And this oracle is an instrument by which we can begin to perceive whenever we're feeling in a dilemma, whenever we're feeling confused, whenever we're feeling at our wit's end, that if we can reach out for the oracle, the intelligence that pours through these rather exquisite icons, it actually enables us to really get closer to the whole nature of how we can draw the angels into our lives. Gabriel, the divine messenger, is present in our lives to inspire and balance us, creating harmony and the pursuit of inner peace. Haniel, the sacred warrior, helps us to connect with our inner strength and courage, reminding us to believe in the power of integrity and hope. Jophiel, the holy liberator, helps us to release all negative feelings, showing us that when we let go of the challenges, we achieve unlimited love and joy. Metatron, the supernal teacher, shows us how the merciful might of our divine intelligence brings wisdom and the wonder of miracles. Michael, the cosmic leader, enchants us to transmute our base feelings into higher purposes. Therefore, we achieve magical clarity concerning our leadership potential. Raphael, the holy healer, empathetically leads us to cleansing and purification so that we feel the power of the earth coursing through our veins. Radziel, the keeper of the divine mysteries, speaks to us through our dreams and meditative retreats, bringing us always to a position of harmony within our intuition. Sandalphon is the sacred guardian of the planet and of earthly evolution, so this exquisite angel guides us through planetary cycles that transform us. Shamiel is the divine guide indicating how new beginnings bring us to the changing wonder of our lives. Uriel, the divine companion, shows us how our consciousness leads to abundant freedom through the development of belief, faith, and trust. Zadkiel is the divine comforter who holds us strongly in the security of our spirituality, particularly when life's challenges are rich. Zadkiel shows us that love, joy, and gratitude allow abundance to flow. Safkiel is the sacred lover who initiates us through the great compassion of the Source, leading us to untold ecstasy concerning the wonder of surrendering to the romance of life. This oracle are like the signature notes that we have in our bodies. They're our own unique sound. And that, if you like, this oracle is the signature note in this particular form of these 12 angels of Atlantis. They're literally waiting all the time for us to call upon them, whether we wish messages, whether we wish guidance, whether we wish teaching, whether we wish comfort, whether we wish to be inspired. There they are, through these archetypal energies, literally waiting for us to call upon them. And by the usage of this oracle, not only are we tuned into the wonderment of these angels, but we are also brought into the symphony of our own signature note. And when we find our signature note, we find such joy, such purity, and such power that all we wish to do is to live out our sovereignty full of love and joy. What else is there?